Are you a fan of pro wrestling, comedy, and combat sports? Then we have the podcast for you because we cover that and much, much more.
Do you like to debate with your friends? Do we have the perfect segment for you? It's the 531, where we take any given subject, break it down to a top 5. From there, we debate it down to 3 and then into that number 1 spot.
If you want to get a hold of us, find us on our social medias. Search Working Fans Podcast on any major social media platform. And if you want to find the podcast, search for us on any major podcast platform, as well as YouTube.
Working Fans Podcast. We put in the work so you don't have to.
Welcome back for another dose of Working Fans Podcast daily content. We are brought to you by the Pro Wrestling Vault Volume 1 and Lance by Chance, written by Vinnie Barry. Super Vows and Pas de Deux, written by Kevin Kelton. AO Money Meat, Camouflage, When the Deadbolt Breaks, Buzzard Canyon, the great people over at Connecticut People Records, our wrestling commentary home in New Heights Wrestling. And today, the plan changed a little bit because I was checking my email this morning and I did not yet get the Raw numbers from last night. But the numbers from Battle of the Belts 2 came in, and I kind of wanted to start sharing things like this with you guys because I subscribe to the WrestleNomics Patreon, and you get access to a lot of the good work they do over there. And they reported that Battle of the Belts 2 was viewed by 527,000 people. This is down 25% from the January 8th, which was the first one, and that had 704,000 people. This was higher than Rampage the night before, which had 482,000. So not wild numbers off this. The Battle of the Belts, probably the best match they had on was the Jonathan Gresham match, in my opinion. But it was also up against things like there was a Fight Night card. You had Windy City Riot. You had the NBA playoffs and USFL football, which I believe in the 18 to 49 demographic, they rated lower than, which was surprising to me. But I don't understand the breakdowns by age. I just tend to look at total viewership, and this not a wild number for Battle of the Belt. So if I were Tony Khan, I would be looking at what can we do to make these Battle of the Belts more special. It definitely feels like it's on a Rampage level of expectation. I was hoping more for like a Clash of the Champions type thing when I heard they were going to be doing these specials. And, you know, I don't really know much what to make of it. I thought the show was all right. I thought Windy City Riot was a better show on paper. And especially when you look, well, even when you look at the technical difficulties, it was still roughly a better show than this. So I hope going forward in the future, I mean, they built up this show well. So if they could do that better going forward and get you excited for these specials more, almost like on a pay-per-view level, I think they'd be more to brag about. But, you know, it's a television special, so you can't get too wild, especially NBA playoffs. There's baseball going on right now too. So there's a lot of things pulling people's attention in different directions. SmackDown still is the top show in viewership with Raw right behind. And then AEW Rampage is like, I'm not going to say a distant third, but there's a little gap. And surprisingly, New Japan makes up the lowest. And that's really only because they just came back to Access recently. And unless you watch them on New Japan World, but I don't know if that's how they're looking up viewership. I will be getting more into these numbers as the daily content goes on, but let us know in the comments what you thought about this quick breakdown. It wasn't going to be anything in depth because I don't want to just regurgitate numbers to you that I find that I don't understand. So right now, 527,000, that's down from the first special, but above Rampage the night before. And we will come back to you hopefully tomorrow with Raw numbers, maybe even if we're lucky, NXT numbers. But this is going to be a fluid show. Like we said, we just want to get something out to you guys every day and try and get you some of the actual news out there, like as early as possible. So thank you for joining us today and have a good day.